Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be reviewing the Roen 1111 palette. I've been playing with it for a few days. I really like it. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I already love and use the cool toned palette regularly. So I feel like I have a pretty good sense of the formula and like how to work with them, what not to do with them. So today's going to be a review and a demo. And I'm also going to do eye swatches of all four shades on my eyes separately because I feel like when you just blend these all together, they can look really similar. So we're definitely going to do that. Just first up, the pictures on Sephora look way off. They're absolutely not accurate. They make it look like very pink and like light pink and pastel, but it looks like this. It's like much more rosy and warm tone. So just a heads up on that. And yeah, I'm gonna demo it on my eyes and then weigh some of the pros and cons. So let's get started. First up, let's do some hand swatches. This is the shade Chow. It's my personal favorite. It's like a burnt rose metallic shade. I just love it. This is the standout to me. And then the next shade is Situation. I would describe this as like a light pearlescent pink with blue glitter. It looks so nice when it catches the light. The orange shade is Rosy, and it has less glitter than the first two. It's kind of cool. They all have different textures. And then the fourth shade is the shade Hashtag, and I would describe it as like a green mossy silver color. And my pinky's small, so I was just building up the swatch. That's what it looks like when it catches the light. They're so pretty, and you can see a little bit of the texture on my fingers. All right, let's do some eye swatches. The first is the shade Situation. It's like this drier, more foil flaky texture. I used too much there, so I'd really use it as a glitter topper because I did get some fallout. The next shade is Hashtag. It's this like beautiful mossy silvery gray color, and it's creamier and has less glitter than Situation. And keep in mind, I'm not trying to make this look pretty right now. I just wanted you to see what the shadows looked like individually, because when you throw them all in your eye at the same time, it's kind of hard to tell what they all look like. The next is the shade Chow. This is definitely my favorite. It's like that metallic burnt rose. And I think this is the standout of the palette. It has more glitter than the shades Hashtag and Rosy to me. I think it's definitely got a little bit more of that like foil glitter. So I think the shades actually all have slightly different textures, which is cool. And this one is the shade Rosy. It's this like bright orange shade. I know a lot of people are gonna love this one. And I think it has slightly less glitter than the one on the right, the Chow shade, but they're both very beautiful. First, with this palette, I'm gonna take this beautiful little like rosy shade, and I think it's the one, yeah, it's called Rosy. So what you need to do is you need to warm these up with your fingers. You absolutely cannot just go in with a brush. In fact, I wouldn't recommend using a brush at all for these. I really think that this is like grown-up finger painting. At least that's how it feels for me. So I like to take my ring finger and I just kind of start like warming up the product. It's also best if you keep it in an area that's not super cold. Like I kept this overnight in my car and it was like super hard and really difficult to work with. So then once I just like let it sit in the bathroom while I took a shower, it was perfect. So let me get in here a little bit. I'm gonna take this rosy shade. It's kind of like a coppery rose gold. And this one's my favorite out of the palette. I just think this whole palette is very soft and romantic. And I love the pink. I normally don't go for any type of pink eyeshadows, but this makes it so exciting. Okay, so there you go. That's how it looks without being blended. Just gonna wipe my finger off really quickly. And then what I like to do is I go in with a little brush and I like to blend it. I just find that that way it kind of like disperses the pigment really easily. You can see there are some like huge chunks of glitter, and that's why I love these. They're just kind of like cream glitter flake pigments. And I'm gonna go back in with that same rosy shade, and I'm just gonna build that up. That's nice. I'm just gonna take this shade and put it right over the top. It's like a hard foil, like a dry, like a cream foil. Damn. That's intense. I'm just gonna repeat the same thing on the other eye. I'm really gonna work it in. And just press it all over the lid. Watch out because you can get fallout with these. They are certainly messy. And that's why I think they're kind of fun. Now I'm gonna go in with my brush and I'm just gonna blend that up. So you can use a brush with these. I just don't think you can use a brush to apply the product because they really need warmth. And Nikki DeRoest recommends, who's the co-founder, recommends really warming them up and using pressure to get the pigments on, to sort of like activate. And I think that that's the way that makes it the most fun too. Like you just kind of feel like you're a kid again and you're finger painting. And I just love it. So I'm gonna build that up a little bit more. Now I'm gonna go back in with that sort of like foiled topper shade. It's a light pink with sort of like reflective, chunky blue glitter. So now that I've got that down, I'm gonna go in with the shade, I think it's Situation. And I think I'm just gonna put it on the outer corners. Just to deepen that up a little bit. For me, this would be the kind of look I would wear if I were going to a concert. I mean, for me, this is like the ultimate concert makeup when you kind of just want to feel like a cool girl. You know what I mean? I don't get to feel like a cool girl on the reg, so if makeup gets me there, I'll fucking take it. But that's why I have fun with these, because I feel like, you know, I'm typically not a very creative person when it comes to my makeup, and I feel like these kind of get me to be creative, like with this color scheme, just with grays and like roses and oranges. I don't know, I feel like all of their palettes kind of get me to think outside the box and like just play. And we don't really give ourselves time to play all that often. And I think that's why I love these palettes so much. Maybe for shits and giggles, I'll just go in with the orange. I'm gonna take it on my pinky because I'm gonna try to maybe put it underneath my eye. And it looks like this. It's just like really a bright orange. Just gonna tap and smudge that. I'm gonna do a little bit more actually. That was kind of nice. I don't mind that. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Now I'm gonna whack on some mascara and then I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons and actually do the review portion. Cool, so that's the look. I just added some mascara, a little bit of eyeliner on the top waterline, and that's what we got. On first glance into the mirror here, I can see there's quite a bit of fallout of glitter from that orange pigment that I smudged on the lower lash line. I don't think it's necessarily that this palette does that over the cool toned palette. I think I just don't generally put these on my lower lash line. I don't tend to like any type of shimmer or glitter on my lower lash line, even with powder shadows. I tend to just like a soft matte shadow, and then I focus the glitter on the top. So I think I probably should have just done a matte shadow and then just a one swipe of like one of the shades. And I think that's the best way to use this. I think if you're trying to use this to get like a really precise look, it's just not the product for you. So while we're talking about that, let's just jump right into the pros and cons. For me, I'll start with the cons. This palette is $42 for 4 shadows. And I know a lot of people think that's absolutely absurd. I totally hear you. I also think that that's an absurd price, especially given the fact that the packaging is plastic, even though it looks metal. So it looks luxe, but it's not. That's something that I think they could improve. However, The outer packaging is completely recyclable. So they were saying that if you pop the pans out, you can recycle the whole thing. That I do appreciate. So I don't think I can really complain about the packaging too much. I'm also just not the kind of person who cares about packaging. But, you know, it is $42. So I've had a lot of people DM me on Instagram. They saw me kind of playing around with it a little bit and they asked me if it's worth $42. I'm never going to tell someone if a product is worth the money or not, because that entirely depends on your financial situation. It depends on your preferences, your skin type, your makeup vibe, all that stuff. For me, it is. But for so many of you, I know it's not going to be. If you're the kind of person who likes to do like really glam looks that have lots of different colors, lots of different textures, that have some mattes, you know, where you're not going to get any creasing, definitely skip these. Definitely not for you. But if you're the kind of person like me who just likes to swipe makeup on with their fingers and go, who loves glitter and loves shimmer and like having fun and doesn't mind when things get a little like creasy and smudgy, then you might love these. For me, I just totally feel like I'm like a kid finger painting again, and that's why I have so much fun with them. But, you know, if you want to be the kind of person who just uses brushes for their makeup, I just don't think that that would be a good fit. They are really beautiful. For me, they make me feel like unintentionally messy, or like editorial messy, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it kind of gives you that model off duty look that all of us really strive for. In terms of creasing, I've had these on for like 10 minutes and I think there's only a tiny bit of natural creasing on my lids, but I do find that after a couple hours, you can definitely notice the crease. These don't set down, they stay very creamy, but because of that, you know, if you want to, once an hour, you can just do this and then blend it in, and you don't even need a mirror. You don't have to like go to the bathroom to do that, and then it would sort of fix that creasing. I don't mind it. Most people just see me with my eyes open. I'm not like going around like this, so it doesn't bother me. But if you want a long-lasting shadow, not your vibe. Something else I wanted to mention is that Nikki DeRoest, the co-founder, started the company with a photographer friend of hers, and she just announced yesterday on Sunday that she had resigned as CEO. She no longer has any affiliation with Roen, and she seemed very sad in her Instagram stories. So that kind of leads me to believe that, and she also said it was because of investor problems, like they just didn't align on their vision. And I saw a lot of people commenting on her Instagram post saying that like, you should have stuck with it, or, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I think what people don't understand is when you take on investors, if they have control of the board, then they can vote you out. They likely bought her out, likely voted her out as CEO, and they likely bought her out so that she no longer profits from Roen sales. And I think that's what she meant by she has no affiliation with Roen anymore, because most of the time, if you leave on good standing and you resign as CEO, you still have some shares in the company because it was your baby and you want to obviously make some profits off of it. But since she said she has no affiliation with Roen anymore, it leads me to believe that they completely bought her out. So I feel really sad about that. To me, Nikki was the vibe. Nikki was the whole like coolness about the company. I followed her for a really long time, and she's the reason why I bought the Roen palettes in the first place. I've just always loved her passion for makeup. I followed her YouTube channel for years. Actually, back when she used to use the Milani Fierce Foil shadows, and they became the inspiration for these. She used to get those Milani shadows and she would talk about how she wanted to make a creamier version. So it was really cool to see that whole vision come to life. I feel a little bit weird now about the brand, but you know, we don't really know what happened. I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth. I am totally just speculating on what happened. But I'm interested to know more about what happened behind the scenes, and I will continue to support anything Nikki does because I think that she's really fantastic and creative, and I just love her vision. I think my personal favorite is the Cool Toned palette, because that gunmetal blue that I used in a couple of my videos is just like the best thing. It's the best thing I've ever put on my eyes. But this one I can see getting a ton of use out of. I think these three shades, the pink, the orange, and the gray, I'm going to be using constantly because versus the cool toned palette, this one is definitely more appropriate for daytime if you're down for like some daytime glitter vibes happening. Let's see what happens if I just like apply. I'm going to take that foil shade. I'm scared. Whoa. Whoa. Oh God. You guys know I love an inner corner highlight, but ooh, wait, that was actually really pretty. Hold on. Woo! Wow. 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 It's kind of cool. I feel like I'm like a fairy. I'm like a disco fairy, and I'm like, hey, you want a party? That's how I feel right now. That's how Roen makes me feel. For shits and giggles, while we're here, let's just go wild. We added that inner corner highlight. I'm gonna make it more orange. Yeah, I'm gonna do orange in the crease. Let's just go fucking wild, right? Why not? It's a Monday. We're gonna call it Disco Mondays. There we go. I may look insane, but I also may look cool. Let's see what happens if I layer it. Okay, so I'm gonna take that. Oh. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Fun. All dressed up and nowhere to go. I have glitter all over my face and I feel pretty fantastic. That's it. This is my demo and my quick review of the Roen 1111 palette. If you guys have any questions about the formula or the colors, feel free to just comment below. I'm also going to do an Instagram post, so you can head over there at State of Kate and you can check out the pictures if you want to see those. And yeah, I think these are super fun. I think next time I would not put any of the shadows on the lower lash line to prevent that fallout. And, you know, I probably would have done a better placement of the inner corner highlight because it's really pretty, but it did fall out a little bit. So I took way too much. You just need like a tiny little bit. But yeah, overall, I think this is super fun. I feel like when I play with these, I actually have fun playing with makeup and it just makes it lighthearted again. So yeah, I really love these. Totally understand if you don't and you think it's ridiculous for the price, but I had a blast and I'm going to continue to have fun with these. And I'm very interested to see where Roen goes next. I hope you guys have a great day and thanks for watching.
Hi. Oh, hi. I look so pretty.
I got my boyfriend and I got my dog.
It's me.
You want some shadows?
Do I need them?
Yeah.
I look so pretty with this light.
You look beautiful.
I don't really talk like this.
Yes, he does. Look at you little shorts. Anyways.